I call to order the May 2022 meeting of the Escambia County School Board. Whether you're joining us via our live stream or in the audience, we appreciate your interest in the education of our students of Escambia County. I ask that you silence your cell phones at this time and remind you that if you wish to speak to either an agenda item or at the public forum, you must complete a speaker request form found on the table at the rear of the room and bring it to Miss Doyle right here to, where is she? There she is, at the front table. It is this board's practice to pull items to the consent agenda when someone asks to speak. The consent agenda includes the curriculum and instruction, finance, human resources, and operations. You must submit your speaker form prior to the approval of the consent agenda. The meeting was properly advertised in the Pensacola News Journal on May 5th, 2022, legal notice number 5243346. It is tradition of the Escambia County School Board to begin our meeting with an invocation or a motivation moment followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. This month is District 5. Mr. Slayton will lead us.
Thank you very much, sir. With everything that's going on in our country and around the world, I think it's a great time to give everyone a moment to pause and to pray to yourself about the things that are so important to you. And please keep in mind and add to that a great school year. We are so close to the end and we've had such a fabulous year, and it's been nice not to worry about COVID every day. So I hope that you will remember that. So if you don't mind at this time, please rise. We will have a silent prayer and then I'll lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you very much. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and be seated.
At this time, we will move to the adoption of the agenda. Mr. Superintendent, are there any additions or deletions to your recommended agenda?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do have a number this evening. Under Section 15, Consent Curriculum Professional Learning, Item C is deleted. 2021-2022 K-12 Mathematics Instructional Materials Adoption. Item D is an add. Memorandum of Understanding between the School Board of Escambia County, Florida and Huff Mifflin Harcourt Publishing Company 2022-2027. Item E, add Memorandum of Understanding between the School Board of Escambia County, Florida and Bedford Freeman and Worth Publishing Group, LLC, 2022-2027. Item F, amend 2021-2022 K-12 Mathematics Instructional Materials Adoption. Item G, add Memorandum of Understanding between the School Board of Escambia County, Florida and Savas Learning Company, LLC, 2022-2027. Now we move to under Section 18, Consent Curriculum Workforce Education. One item there, it's item B, add agreement between the School Board of Escambia County and the Alabama Aviation Education Center. Moving under Section 24, Consent Finance Purchasing, Item R, delete Amendment 4 and renewal of agreement, K-12 Virtual School Program Curriculum and Materials. Item CC, add annual agreement for Instructure Software and Services. Item DD, amend Amendment 4 and renewal of agreement, K-12 Virtual School Program, Curriculum, and Materials. And that concludes the additions and deletions.
State statutes and school board rules require that changes to be made to the agenda after publication be based on findings of good cause determined by the person designated to preside over the meeting and stated in the record. I find it a good cause. Is there any objection from any board member to the additions or deletions? Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as amended for good cause at the meeting?
Move the adoption of the amended agenda.
Do I have a second? I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to point out that the additions under the curriculum were because we really needed to make those decisions about our textbooks so that they could be ordered in a timely fashion. And we were aware that they were coming forward. So thank you to the attorney and to everyone that got that done. Thank you.
Yeah, and several of those textbooks agreements have a clause in there, if they are approved, they will be purchased. So I wanted to mention that. So I think most of them are approved already, right, Ellen?
I believe of the ones that I reviewed that are on the agenda, they have been.
Okay, okay. Good
There
deal.
may be one on the textbook adoption form that still, it was the one that Ms. White had indicated. There was no other submission, and it had not yet reached approval, but it is my understanding that it's not with the MOUs, but it's with just the adoption.
Adoption, okay. All right. You want to add on to it? Yes,
Mr.
Ms.
Marcanian?
Marcanian?
But if you would, I would like to clarify.
Yeah.
So, again, the MOUs are in regards to the agreement with the publisher, but I think to your point, Mr. Adams, the instructional materials adoption, we did receive, since the workshop on Friday, we have received word that an additional publisher has received DOE approval. So for K-12 mathematics, our number one choice has already been approved by DOE. Our number two alternate, on Friday we received, or sometime recently we received word that the McGraw-Hill has since been approved by DOE. So and then for college liberal arts, that is the one that is still pending DOE approval. So your approval tonight is pending DOE's final approval. And then we still have one alternate for probability and statistics honors. Our alternate is also still pending board DOE approval.
I appreciate that clarification. So for the public, we will not purchase any books unless they're approved by the Department of Education.
That's correct.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Further clarification to that, though, us doing the memorandum of understanding and having it ready to go is because procedurally, these materials have to be adopted at a regularly scheduled board meeting. And if we waited until the June or later board meetings, it would be too late to get them adopted and delivered in time for school next year. So that's why the MOUs are there for the staff to proceed as soon as they're approved.
Good point. All right, any other discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we're going to move into departmental reports and recognitions. Mr. Superintendent, PTA presentation.
Yes, our PTA leaders are approaching. Thank you all.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, fellow school board members, superintendent, and staff. Our mission is to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities to advocate for all children. Thank you, Superintendent Smith and school board members who celebrated alongside us on April 26th for our Student of the Year award ceremony. We had a wonderful turnout, and as expected, the ceremony was filled with amazing kiddos who inspired us all. On May 12th, ECC-PTA held our last general meeting for the school year. This meeting is where our new officers are elected for the 2022-2023 school year. I would like to introduce to you Melanie Gamble, our new ECC-PTA president. We also elected a new first vice president, Megan Boone, for secretary Karen White, for treasurer Carla Slack, and congratulations to Parker May, Patel Tolles, Shannon De Jesus, Jennifer Wazelenko, Crystal Samuel, Melissa Waters, and Bree Bruni for their nominations for area vice presidents. We are very excited about all of our new board members and look forward to an even bigger and better 2022-2023 school year. We have also been encouraging our local units to attend the upcoming Florida PTA leadership training planned for July 21st through the 24th in Orlando, Florida. as well as our local units to attend the Escambia County's local leadership training workshop planned for August 13th. We encourage all outside support organizations to attend so that we may all remain in good standing with the district, which will equate to more efficiently and effectively serving our schools. I would like to take a minute of personal privilege and say thank you to ECC PTA for these past 2 years of service. It has been a unique one, for sure, but beyond blessed to serve alongside some amazing leaders. I look forward to continuing in service as their past president. On behalf of Escambia County Council of PTAs and all our local units, we appreciate this opportunity to share our news. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, before could I
Sure.
take a moment
Go
of
ahead.
personal privilege? I just want to say to Ms. Kerwin, thank you so much. This has been a very difficult 2 years when our parents were not able to go to the schools. And yet all of our PTAs have done an awesome job of continuing to help the schools raise funds, whatever they needed to do. And that's largely due to your leadership. And I just wanted to say thank you from the board for everything that you've done to keep everything going in this time where parents were schooling from home and everything else was going on. But
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you. And thank you for you all always supporting us. It's such a big deal when your school board supports you, and it's nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, ma'am. Great job. Okay, Mr. Superintendent, Stellar Employee of the Year.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Escambia County School District's Office of Community Involvement is proud to recognize Mr. Cordarius Jones as the Stellar Employee of the Year. Mr. Cordarius Jones and Mr. Cordarius Jones, aka Mr. Bus Driver, please come forward with your coworkers, family, and friends.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Cordarius Jones was recognized as the Stellar Employee for the month of April. Tonight, we honor Mr. Jones as the Stellar Employee of the 2021-2022 school year. Please watch this short video.
The complaints. If she's growing crazy, send me some help.
And the unruly.
Now, if I call your mom about you cursing, you know you're gonna get in trouble.
Cordarius Jones has found a way to act out just about every situation he's encountered driving an Escambia County school bus.
Me and my partner over here, we don't play.
You may remember Jones from our coverage of the nationwide bus driver shortage impacting Northwest Florida. His 4 years driving with the district hasn't been easy, but his positive outlook has turned into dozens of videos on his Facebook page, Mr. Bus Driver.
There you go. You just take them just like that and you clean all that up. There you go. Now you keep the whole box. There you go.
And those videos have garnered Jones a following no school bus driver could imagine.
As of today, I'm almost at 20,000 followers. You know, my biggest video had about 750,000 views, and not just drivers, but drivers, parents, students, you know, worldwide. They love the content, and
Wow.
I enjoy making it. You Mr. Jones, right? Yeah, that's me. Should have got some sleep when you was at home. Wake up.
Jones isn't worried about students acting out, in some cases behind his back.
Superman, that up. Quit doing that talk or tic-tac-toe or whatever you doing. Put it up.
The funny man bus driver wants students to know he cares, often sharing messages from the view of a concerned driver.
All right, so I kind of just want to get on here and talk about a serious matter, not just happening with me, but happening with pretty much every driver. Just asking the public, you as the public, when you see a bus, when you see kids crossing, kids walking, take that extra time to just slow down. I've got nothing but positive feedback from it from parents. Some parents will see me and they'll recognize me and then they'll write me on my Facebook page, hey, you're driving my child. Oh my gosh, I'm glad. You know, and they'll come out the next day and, you know, meet me and greet and, you know, everything. So It's all about building relationships and letting these parents know, hey, your child is in the best hands. All right, sir, have a good. This ain't your stop. Go sit down. We have an awesome team out here. You know, any bus you see rolling, that's a hero driving.
Tanner Stewart, Channel 3 News.
Excellent.
Each month, Members First Credit Union graciously provides our stellar employees with a check for $100. Tonight, Tammy Miller from Members First Credit Union is here to present a check for $500. Miss Miller, please say a few words.
On behalf of Members First Credit Union, first of all, let me say how proud we are to partner with the school district and for allowing us to sponsor this award. And Mr. Jones, Mr. Bus Driver, how proud we are of you. Thank you for your service and the hard work you do in the transportation area. And congratulations on being named Stellar Employee of the Year.
Thank you so much.
In recognition of that, there's a $500 check that will take.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones will also receive a plaque along with his check for $500 from Members First Credit Union. Mr. Jones, we are extremely proud of you. And at this time, if you would please approach the dais.
Mr. Billboard.
Congratulations, great job, buddy. Keep it up.
Well deserved. Keep taking care of our kids.
Yes, sir, of course. Thank you. Oh, wow. I still haven't got a chance to hang the other one up, so. Oh, my goodness. First of all, thank you so much to Dr. Smith, members of the board, and my transportation family. I can't tell you how much of an honor it has been to be recognized in such a huge way. Ooh, don't start. Being told by my peers how much I deserve this award and so much more means a whole lot to me. The outgoing and high-spirited person you see here today was not the person I was when I started. I came into this job very nervous and shy. I wasn't sure if I could really control 77 kids on a bus by myself. As much confidence as I tried to put into myself, I got more and more nervous as it was closer to the day for me to drive my first group. One person here who I'm forever thankful for is Miss Shanetta Thornton, which is... She literally took me under her wing and became my mama bear. I think she smelled the fear inside of me. As she was introducing me to the students I would start driving that year, she introduced me as her son. She told them, if you give my son a hard time, you're going to deal with me into the rest of the year. That fear she put in them helped me throughout the rest of the year. I would hear the kids telling others, hey, sit down, be quiet. I don't want his mama to come back. So thank you, Mama Shanetta, for breaking me through the toughest stage. Before becoming a school bus driver 4 years ago, you couldn't convince me there was more to it than just picking up students and dropping them off. I now see the big picture. I now see the importance of my job. Being that first face in the morning and last face in the evening for these kids plays a crucial role in how a child starts or ends their day. This job has really opened my eyes to the generation growing up around me. To receive those hugs and letters of appreciation from kids I drive daily and some I've drove only one time
says a lot about the love they are feeling just from my presence. Recently, I started covering a route where a driver has been out. A parent came to my door yesterday, which was the third day I drove this route, and said to me, "My son told me out of all the drivers he had this year, you're his favorite." Many have asked me, how do you do it? Why do the kids like you so much? As drivers, teachers, or anyone in the educational system, we often want to be quick to teach how to do this and why not to do that. What I've come to understand is we should do less teaching and more learning of these kids. I had to step back and really observe my students and the environment in which I picked them up from and dropped them off in. I had to visualize outside the box. Instead of yelling at a student for always walking slow to get to the bus, I had to look beyond the fact that they're just holding up traffic. Maybe this child didn't get any sleep last night due to a toxic home. Maybe they're sick and their parents are just sending them to school just because they don't want to deal with them. Instead of yelling at a student who's always eating on the bus after being told not to, I had to look beyond the fact that they're making a mess on my bus, on the floors and seat. Maybe they didn't eat much at home. Maybe this is their first meal after days of not eating at all. Instead of constantly writing that student up who's always causing problems on the bus, I had to take that student to the side and find out what's going on for them to act out. Maybe they crave attention because they're lacking it at home. Maybe they're just waiting for that one person to ask, what's wrong, so they can open up and express themselves. It's sad, but unfortunately, it's reality. We never know unless we look beyond what the job description describes. This is why I make sure every day I am that driver who is constantly mad. Yes, I can say to you all here today, I am a driver who is always mad. No, I'm not talking about that adjective we always use to describe very angry. I'm talking about I'm a driver who is mad, M-A-D, making a difference. With this job, each day is something new. Every day I get up and think to myself, what can I do different today that I didn't do yesterday? I've always been one who strives to go above and beyond my job description. It's just in me. A few weeks ago, I was taking students to Warrenton Middle School, and I rolled up on a young lady laid out in the middle of the street after being struck by a vehicle that fled the scene. I didn't think twice to stop and offer my assistance. Not only picking up my radio to have dispatch send help, I activated my student lights to warn traffic of the hazard ahead. I pulled my bus over to the side, stepped off, and rendered first aid to the young lady while my assistant tended to the children until first responders arrived. Though a bit scared and shaken up, thankfully, the young lady was okay. If I see someone in need, I immediately offer my assistance. I get a lot of praise for the work I do, but I take no credit other than it's just in me to help. The positivity I receive here is what inspired me to spread more all over the world with Mr. Bus Driver videos. Yes, we get stressed out, tired, and ready to throw in the towel. But if we can just have that one smile or laugh that lets you know you're not alone and we're all dealing with the same issues, and if it gives you strength to give tomorrow another go, then I know my video was successful. Thank you so much to everyone here today. As I said before, I'm nothing without my wonderful team and amazing support system. My family, friends, wonderful director, my fellow drivers and assistants, my great group of route managers, my amazing route manager, Richard Lopez, and special shout out to Area 23. Whoop, whoop. I love you all more than you know. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Just give 1 minute here. Okay, Mr. Superintendent, the State History Day winners.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sponsored by the Museum of Florida History, Florida History Day is an annual statewide activity that enhances the teaching and learning of history in middle and high schools. At this year's Florida History Day state competition, 782 middle and high school students from 28 Florida counties presented award-winning research in a variety of categories, including documentaries, exhibits, papers, performances, and websites. The top 2 winners of each category are invited to represent Florida at the National History Day contest in June. Escambia County is pleased to announce the award winners of our district. Junior Historical Paper, first place, Sarah Tanvir, The Indian March to Sovereignty Debate, from Brown Barge Middle School. Her teacher is Miss Lauren Meese.
Congratulations, great job.
Our second place winner is Unanya Chucky from Brown Barge Middle School. Her teacher also is Miss Lauren Mice, and her work is A League of Their Own, the international journey from confrontation to collaboration. Yes, that concludes the award winners. Yes, thank you.
Congratulations to our winners. Okay, Mr. Superintendent, Workplace Giving Campaign.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are proud to recognize the winners of the Escambia County School District's Workplace Giving Campaign. The Workplace Giving Campaign is a collaborative effort between United Way of West Florida and the Escambia County Public School Foundation. The generosity of all our employees, not only through the monetary donations, but their volunteer efforts, benefit our community. This evening, we have Laura Gilliam, the President and CEO of United Way, and Mary White, our Development Manager for United Way, in attendance, as well as Joe MacArthur, the Executive Director for the Escambia County Schools Foundation. Chris McFarland, the Coordinator of Enrollment Services, and Wanda Kotick, Coordinator of Community Involvement, are here to introduce this year's winners, who will then come shake hands with the board, followed by a picture.
Good evening. So before we announce the winners, Ms. Gilliam and Ms. MacArthur are going to say a few words about the campaign and our partnership that we share with them.
Thanks, Chris. Members of the board, Superintendent, it is quite the pleasure to be here during this celebration this evening. We are very grateful at United Way of West Florida for the partnership, the very strong partnership we have with the school district. You may know that one of our areas of focus is education. Health, education, and financial stability are those 3 pillars. And we're very proud to be able to partner with the school district on a workplace campaign. So we are grateful for that financial support, as well as Stuff the Bus, the annual school supply drive, and Day of Caring, which is the largest volunteer event in Northwest Florida. We are also very thankful that you share some of your team with us. In my 4-year tenure here, our board members, 2 of our board members, former board members, are right here, Joe MacArthur, as well as Chris McFarland, who are both still actively involved in other ways, and then Wanda Kotick, who's our current board member. So again, we are very thankful for this partnership. It is something that benefits the community. We do believe in collaboration, working together, and this is certainly one way to do that. I am again grateful. Want to congratulate these schools and thank them for their participation and for what they're doing to the community, for the community, through the workplace campaign. So thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent and board members. We appreciate the partnership you allow us to have with United Way and participating with the workplace campaign giving. The foundation, through generous donations of our school district employees, actually received $20,000 this year that goes directly to grants for excellence that support classroom projects and school initiatives that would otherwise not be funded. So we're really excited about that. We're also looking forward to the upcoming campaign in October and working with Ms. Gilliam at United Way again, and Ms. Kotick in community involvement, and representing the school district in that way. And Mr. McFarland is going to recognize the top schools this year that gave to the foundation and United Way.
Thank you. So when we run the campaign, we always run a contest with all of our schools and district departments, and we provide the schools with how much they raised the previous year, as well as a goal. And so the awards are not who collected the most money, it's who did the best percent over their goal and how much was raised the previous year. And then these awards that you see here on what Dr. Smith calls the dais are passed around from year to year to the winning school, and they display it in their foyer. Now, because of COVID, I had to track down these awards because we haven't passed them out since 2019. So they're not engraved yet, but we're going to have the winners come up and greet you at the board, and then I'm going to work with United Way to get them engraved, and we're going to get back on track with presenting them in the foyers of the winning schools. So for United Way, our district department winner was the professional learning department, which is Brian Alaback, and the work site coordinator was Jennifer Kitchens. Do you want them to come up there, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can have them come around and.
For our elementary school, the top elementary school was Jim Allen Elementary, Principal Rachel Watts, and their site coordinator, Mary Guilford. Our top middle school is Bailey Middle School, Principal Janet Penrose, and Site Coordinator Regina Sanders. And our top high school is the high school winning all the awards this year, Pine Forest High School, with Principal Deborah Ray and Site Coordinator Emily King. So for the United Way, we had 679 employees donate a total of $20,903. And so we thank them very much. And we do the campaign every October. And so we'll be working with United Way and the foundation again this October on that campaign. Thank you. For the foundation, our top district department, first time they've ever won is the superintendent group. And so Dr. Smith will accept the award for them. Their site coordinator is Eva Marie Logan, and she was unable to be here. Our top elementary school is Weiss Elementary.
Good job, good job.
And Principal Dr. Kimberly Thomas and Site Coordinator Trudy Comerford. Our top middle school for the foundation is Warrington Middle School, Principal Denny Wilson, and Site Coordinator Carol Woods. And our top high school is Escambia High School, and Frank Murphy likes to be the site coordinator for his school, so he is both the principal and the site coordinator for Escambia High School.
Oh.
The plaque that Ms. MacArthur has does hang here in room 160. It is already engraved, and so it hangs right over here in the back in room 160. So thank you very much. We really appreciate the opportunity to recognize these schools.
Oh, boy. Okay, Mr. Superintendent, the Common Sense School Recognition Award.
Mr. Chairman, it is my honor to present to you our school that has achieved Common Sense School recognition. That school is Global Learning Academy.
All right.
Yes, I'm going to explain that. Yes. So coming before you is Mrs. Judy LaBounty, Principal, Mrs. Lala Pierce, Assistant Principal, Mr. Kevin McNally, Technology Coordinator, and their team. Common Sense Media provides a free K-12 digital citizenship curriculum complete with lessons and family resources. These lessons engage students in discussions and activities that teach them to think critically as they navigate digital dilemmas in their everyday lives. The school recognition program challenges schools to go through the following steps: to learn through teacher participation in online professional development, to teach digital citizenship lessons, to engage families in activities, to reflect and apply for school recognition. Upon meeting these challenges, the school earns the Common Sense School Badge, a symbol of dedication and commitment to helping students use technology responsibly to learn, create, and participate. Mrs. LeBounty, Mrs. Pierce, and Mr. McNally, please approach the dais to receive your certificate and greet the board.
Congratulations. Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Adams.
Congratulations.
Okay, Mr. Superintendent, the Student Photographer Recognition Award.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you may have noticed two stealthy gentlemen taking photographs at our school board meetings this year. When our Public Relations Department extended an invitation to high school career academies for student volunteers to gain experience by photographing board meetings, these two gentlemen were the first to volunteer. When others canceled or no one volunteered to cover meetings, they stepped in and did an outstanding job. Their photographs have been used on our district website and have been featured on billboards across the county, recognizing our valuable employees and outstanding students. They are always punctual, professional, and ready to work, and we appreciate their contributions this year. This evening, we'd like to recognize from the new Media Academy at Pine Forest High School, Lorenzo Garner and Daniel Jennings. Let me tell you a little bit about these two fantastic students. Lorenzo is a senior currently in his 4th year in the New Media Academy. He was born in Pensacola, but with his father serving in the Navy, he attended school in California, Rhode Island, and Illinois before finally returning here. He holds multiple industry certifications in Microsoft and Adobe applications, and he has been a member of FBLA, Rho Kappa, National Honor Society, and National Society of High School Scholars. He has also worked with the Golden Elite track and field team for 2 years, providing photography and coaching assistance. He currently works as an apprentice plumber for his family's plumbing business, High Tech Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, with his uncle and grandfather. After graduating, Lorenzo plans on continuing to learn the plumbing trade so that he can carry on the family business. Daniel is a senior, also in his 4th year in the New Media Academy. He was born and raised in Pensacola. Daniel has earned industry certifications in Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, as well as Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and Animate. He also enjoys playing the trumpet with 3 years of concert band at the middle school level and 4 years in the Pine Forest High School concert band. In his free time, he enjoys making films and animations, collaborating via long distance with professional voice actors and fellow filmmakers to make his creative visions into realities. These experiences have inspired him to dedicate his life after graduating high school to creating films and telling stories to others. Gentlemen, please come forward to accept these certificates of appreciation for your hard work and dedication this year.
Fantastic job, buddy. Keep it up. You're gonna do a lot in life. Congratulations, buddy. Good job. I guess you must have surprised him a little bit with that one, right? Okay. And Holly's doing a great job. I'm watching her here. So, next we have a resolution to name the music suite at Ransom Middle School the Janie Newbold Walker Music Suite.
Mr. Chairman, before we get started, could I please ask that Chris Walker, his son, Andrew, and Mrs. Newbold, and Dr. Lipnick come to the podium. And as the superintendent reads this, if the people in the audience would either like to join them or just stand in place in honor of a tremendous teacher, Ms. Janie Walker.
Whereas the School Advisory Council, families and staff of Ransom Middle School respectfully request to name the music suite at Ransom Middle School the Janie Newbold Walker Music Suite in honor and remembrance of Janie Newbold Walker. And whereas Mrs. Walker began her career with the Escambia County School District in 1999, served our school district in multiple capacities including Ransom Middle School Band Director and Music Department Chair, lead middle school band director in the Escambia County Fine Arts Department, and guest conductor for middle school honor bands in Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties. And whereas with over 24 years in music education, Mrs. Walker dedicated 22 years to the Escambia County School District and worked to embody the values of excellence, pride, creativity, perseverance, humility, teamwork, commitment, service, accountability, and stewardship. And whereas Mrs. Walker was inducted into the International Bandmasters Fraternity Phi Beta Mu in 2017, was awarded Ransom Middle School Teacher of the Year for the 2020-2021 school year, and was given the 2022 Oliver Hobbs Award posthumously by the Florida Bandmasters Association in recognition of her consistently exceptional job as a band director. And whereas Mrs. Walker provided instrumental instruction and dedicated leadership for the students of the Ransom Middle School Band Program, utilizing the band suite as a daily venue where students first learned to play their chosen instruments and then went on to master them under her thorough instruction during their years at Ransom Middle School. And whereas Mrs. Walker strongly supported music performances at every level, from introducing them to children at the elementary level, teaching students at the middle school level, and mentoring teenagers and young adults at the high school, college, and professional levels. And whereas her legacy is one of extraordinary service and commitment to the Ransom Middle School Band Program, the Escambia County Fine Arts Department, and extends to countless members of the community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of the School Board of Escambia County, Florida, by this resolution recognize Janie Newbold Walker for her service and contributions to the students of the Ransom Middle School Band Program and the surrounding community, and in her honor and memory, name the music suite at Ransom Middle School the Janie Newbold Walker Music Suite. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be spread upon the minutes of the regular meeting of said board, and that a copy be tendered to the administration of Ransom Middle School, and to her husband, Chris Walker, son, Andrew Walker, and to her mother, Kathy Newbold, and to her brother, Spooky Newbold. Approved this 17th day of May 2022.
Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend we approve this resolution and this motion.
Second?
Second. Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Candace? Yeah. That example of that lady.
Thank you all for sharing your mother with us.
I just want to take right quick just to say a few words. Thank you for this recognition to Janie. Our family are very appreciative of this. We all know if Janie was here, she'd be saying, I don't deserve this, it's the students. Well, we all know, yes, to have a great band program, you need great students. But Janie was also a great teacher. I know firsthand the passion and dedication she had for the job. And the third item that you need is great support by the administration and faculty and staff. And she had that at Ransom. She cherished the relationship she had at Ransom with the fellow teachers and always the support she had from the administration. Always knew Ransom was a great place, but that became evident this past year. The love and support from the Ransom family, we can never repay or say thank you enough. So I just want to say thank you again to the board for so many from Ransom who's here and others who helped Janie along the way, who are her mentors in her professional career. I hesitate to start naming names because I know I'll forget some, but I do want to say thank you to Dr. Lipnick for spearheading this, the others at the school who helped her, and also to Lee Rigdon, who's the band director now, who worked alongside Janie for several years. Thank you to him for the work he's done to continue the excellence at the Ransom program and the fellow music departments at Ransom that Janie was a privilege to be a part of. And also, just a thank you for the great job everyone's doing. I see that firsthand from my son coming up through the district. He's never had a bad experience from going to Lipscomb to Ransom and now at Tate. So I just say thank you, because it's helped me this past year to know that Andrew's going to school and there are people at Tate and still at Ransom that's keeping an eye on him. Even though he's a good kid, he doesn't need that, but it helps me knowing that there's people thinking of him and helping him along the way. So again, thank you to everyone for this recognition. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I mention one thing.
Slayton?
Thank you. I would like just to recognize, since he's here in his band director outfit, Mr. Lee Rigdon, would you stand? And this is the gentleman that was working with Janie and has taken over the program and continued the outstanding work. And Janie didn't come in and just invent a program. She took over a very good program and made it even better. So I think I need to recognize the former band director, Mr. Rusty Birtles. Rusty, stand up. He doesn't like to, but that's the gentleman that was there first. Thank you.
Okay.
Be one that reads.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we're going to be moving to public forum. The purpose of the public forum is to give the members of the public the opportunity to address the board on any matter of concern, particularly regarding education and administration of our schools. In this setting, we as board members are not compelled to answer questions or respond to you, and normally will not engage in a back and forth dialogue in this venue. However, your concerns will be noted by the board and the superintendent for a response. As always, we invite you to contact any one of or all of us by phone or email for follow-up. A list of our meeting times and locations is posted on the Escambia County School District website. Speakers must adhere to the guidelines printed on the back of the speaker form. On the form, please be sure to indicate whether your intention to speak at the public forum or to a specific item on tonight's agenda. Please direct your comments to the chair. You are expected to be respectful in your address to the board. You're also asked to use titles and not individual names. Personal attacks against school board members, superintendent, staff, and employees will not be tolerated. If you fail to follow these guidelines, you'll be warned by the chair and then subject to removal if violations continue. Each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes. Ms. Odom will serve as a parliamentarian, Ms. Buswell as our timekeeper, and we'll start the timer with your opening remarks. The buzzer will sound when your time has elapsed. When that timer sounds, please bring your comments to close as quickly as possible. And our first one is David Schmidt. At 3 minutes, sir.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the superintendent, the school board, the Ransom administration for considering this proposal. Honoring this soft-spoken, excellent, and truly caring person honors not just the Ransom Band Room, but the entire musical community. The belief that music changes people's lives went all the way down to her core. This is evident by the hundreds of her students that went on to become high school band members, college band members, music majors, and band directors. With the Walker family, we got 3 for the price of 1. Meeting Janie early in the morning for recruitments from her various feeder elementary schools, Chris was always there behind the wheel of the rental truck, loading and unloading equipment. Also using his accounting skills to make sure all the Ransom Band funding was correct to the penny. Watching Andrew as he traveled through the Ransom Band program to the Tate Band program to becoming the exceptional young musician he is today has been wonderful to watch. Knowing the Ransom Band Room will carry her name and be around to honor her for years to come is truly fantastic. I'd like to thank you all for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next speaker, Tristan Martinez.
I'm Tristan Martinez, and I spoke at the April 19th general meeting against an article in the proposed 2022 to 2023 Rights and Responsibilities Handbook. The content in question was, of course, Article AA at the bottom of page 63. Your responses resulted with a favorable motion to amend the article. But just an amendment for Article AA is not enough. It is not large enough of an action. It is an addition that, if anyone doesn't know, Article A is an addition that handles Level 2 offense of unauthorized publications and petitions. Now, at first glance, it may seem like a benign, perhaps even necessary article. But with any more than a cursory glance, one can see the danger that stems from it. Activities in general that disrupt day-to-day school functioning are already well covered by other articles. The only difference being that Article AA specifically mentions the First Amendment rights of free petition and peaceful assembly, rights that are held by students by Tinker versus Des Moines. That very mention is terrifying because the description of what constitutes a breach is still vaguely defined in AA as interfering with the, quote, orderly process of the school. This vagueness and lack of clarity means that this article can be essentially be used by any school for any purpose regarding, quote, unauthorized assembly and publications. And that term, unauthorized, what does that mean? Will schools be able to alter or perhaps even suppress any information that they deem unauthorized? So would you have to go into a school and request to have a petition or a protest? And if the school says no, then that entire movement is essentially killed before it gets off the ground. It's one of the only tools that we as students have that isn't disruptive, that can be used to push for policy that we support in schools. This deeper look into wording and the language on first glance may seem like mere semantics and whoever not, but the law deals in semantics. Court cases are made and broken with semantics. And perhaps no current schools will even use it, but eventually a school will use it because it sets a precedent to be used into future rights and responsibilities handbooks. And as James Madison wrote, that no men are angels, eventually it will be used against us students. And when it is used to suppress our rights, there will be a massive backlash. Then future generations will look back to us, the generation that willingly and readily betrayed the interest of students out of the flimsy guarantee that it will probably not be used against not only the school for acting, but also the school board for making it possible, whether it be on purpose or on accident. That backlash will be in the form of incredibly costly lawsuits. Win or lose, it is going to be very expensive for us either way. And I do not need to explain that this is money we cannot afford to lose already, especially in this county. But more importantly than funding, this is a grim trajectory for the future of Escambia County. Our legacy is the only thing that we leave behind, and we create that today just as every day. So consider my words when editing and revising the R&R into a finished product. It is of utmost importance to both the current and future students and employees.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, Nancy Doller.
Hello.
Hey.
Last month, I submitted several recommendations of additions and for additions and replacement of language for the Rights and Responsibilities Handbook for the 2022-23 school year version. So I'm wondering if you had time to review and actually look and consider those recommendations. The recommendations included additions of a clause that protects students from retaliation, clearer language regarding the role of the SROs, and a reference for where students can go if they feel discriminated. And I would really love to hear your feedback. Today, I also want to emphasize that I know that the public process for editing and changing the policy has various avenues of input as part of the review. I understand that the hard work has already been completed by the committee on a committee level, but when a document comes to the point of public advertisement, it is when there is an opportunity for public comment and review. So I was a little disheartened when some statements were made last month to the effect that people can't just give input at a point when they feel like it. Feedback was provided at an appropriate entry point during a public meeting in which the document changes were first officially posted. So ultimately, it is now the responsibility of the board to give direction and make the formal decision to approve the policy once further public comment is considered. So I hope that you really consider seriously and welcome the comments that get made during the June public hearing, because ultimately the change and the refinement of the language is in your hands after that public hearing. And so lastly, I would like to say that I hope to meet all of the school board members individually to discuss why I'm so passionate about this particular issue. And I'll be reaching out to you this month before the hearing and look forward to meeting you in person.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, our next speaker is Ben Sherrick.
Thank you, the board, for your consideration towards the student body during the April 19th general meeting. We students were excited to receive responses that legitimized and addressed some of our concerns in regards to the proposed additions in the 2022-2023 Rights and Responsibilities Handbook, particularly in reference to an article that threatened our First Amendment guarantees. While we have confidence that the board will consider amendments to this article, no such propositions currently exist within any public document shared on any form. There is no publicly available timeline for the changes prior to the June hearing, leaving us to speculate about which portions of the Constitution are up for debate to be taken from us. Thus, I'm speaking again today to request that such proposals be made public so that they can be held to the level of scrutiny required for a document that methodically and systematically outlines hundreds of restrictions to be placed on people by a body that they themselves did not elect. I understand that this whole process makes no attempts to characterize itself as democratic. The board stated that schools aren't independent democracies. However, if this process is not democratic, I hope at the very least it can be transparent. Finally, I would like to reiterate the power that this board has over the future rights of the thousands of students in Escambia County. You may call me semantic if you like, but this clause, as it is currently written, with or without an amendment, serves no purpose other than the one clearly delineated in its own language, to eliminate the student right to unauthorized publication. Everyone in this room knows a child in the Escambia County School District. Their right to use tools as malicious as pen and paper to think and act freely is what is at stake here. I will leave you with a lesson that I learned in my time as a student at Pensacola High School. In our AP history classes, we're tasked as historians to make connections across time, to compare and contrast with the purpose of determining to what extent history repeats itself. We also learn, coincidentally, about the fall of democracies, about how we can trace representation going up in flames to single individuals, single moments, single sparks. Sparks that, coincidentally, look strikingly similar to Article AA on page 63 of the 2022-2023 Rights and Responsibilities Handbook. Board, we implore you, please remove this clause. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, the superintendent has noted the comments and concerns and will have a response at a future time. At this point, I'll close public forum. We will move to the next agenda item, which is adoption of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
I move the adoption of the minutes, section 3, A and B. Both sets of minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to administrative appointments. Oh, wait a minute, did I get the wrong place?
Have one more speaker form? I believe there's 5.
Did I miss somebody? Nicole Lindsay. Yes, I am sorry. Nicole Lindsay, please come up. Sorry about that, ma'am.
Good evening, Superintendent, Chair, and school board members. I just wanted to bring to your attention that our clerical staff was not budgeted at the end of the school year for 120 hours. The work they do have a direct impact on transportation and their routing. That means that students will not be getting to school on time, food service can't do their job, and they will be missing instructional time. It is very important that we not overlook our staff, and I'm quite sure it's an oversight, but we need to make sure that this is brought to whoever attention as quickly as possible before the end of school. Once again, we don't need to give people a reason to leave the district. These people do not work 12 months. So knowing that they work summertime is very important to them. This gives them an avenue to go somewhere else and work that is all year long, and they know they're going to be paid. We are already understaffed. It is very important that our people feel valued and appreciated. So what I'm asking you to do is reconsider, make sure this gets to them, that they do have a job that cares. Their job is very important and is very impactful on the day-to-day runnings of the school district. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now we'll get back to where we were. Moving on to administrative appointments. After our motion and vote on this item, the superintendent will introduce the new appointments. Do I have a motion to approve the administrative appointments? Individually? One item? Okay, one item. We keep having this discussion all the time, so.
The way it's currently listed in the agenda, it is listed as one item.
Okay, so let's go ahead and approve it as one item. Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the administrative appointments?
I move the approval of the administrative appointments.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? And maybe we'll discuss this at the next workshop again. Get it straight. All right. If there's no other discussion, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right. Superintendent, you can introduce your.
Yes,
your
thank
point.
you. The first individual we'd like to acknowledge is individual who was actually appointed last month but wasn't able to attend. So we'd like to call her up, and that would be Miss Sandra Hill, Director of our ESC department. Ms. Hill, please come up.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good evening. School board members, Chairman Adams, Superintendent Smith, Deputy Superintendent Payne, Assistant Superintendents, especially Mr. Leonard, Mr. Marcanio, Mr. Dennis, as well as my ESC Director, Mrs. Zaffron. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as the Exceptional Student Education Director. I would like to recognize my husband for his support and love during the tenure of my career. My 3 children, who are all graduates of this excellent school district, Benjamin, Wydrick, and Taylor. They have been exceedingly supportive and patient with their wife and mother, especially when I arrived to family events, school athletic events on 2 wheels and dissipating smoke. They have shared me with hundreds of students on the first day of school with a giving spirit. I'm eternally grateful for that. I also thank my dear mother, who is 92 years old. My deep and humble appreciation seems inadequate to her. She's always encouraged me and supported me in all aspects of my life. My dear, I am immensely grateful for you. I would also like to thank Superintendent Smith and Deputy Superintendent Payne for entrusting me with the provision of supportive services, in the words of our former Deputy Superintendent Ross, to our God's most precious gifts. My professional path has been illuminated and enhanced by my current supervisor, Mrs. Zaffron, Mr. Marcanio at Hallmark Elementary, and as my principal at Unestra Elementary, Mr. Fetzko as program specialist in the ESC department, and also to Ms. Morgan and Mrs. Payne as principal to my children. Many other supervisors and colleagues have poured into me the importance of doing what is right for students while maintaining a calm yet firm demeanor. I accept this position with many years of experience contributing to my preparation as the director of ESC with confidence and humility. The past 11 years of my career as program planning coordinator have been profoundly enhanced as I've worked side by side with Terry Zaffron and the staff to serve our students and families. Mrs. Zaffron, we will always continue to presume competence of our students. Thank you to my church family circle, my circle of friends and sorority sisters for the support and constant prayers. I assume no responsibility for the place in life where I am now, but rather recognize a higher power on a daily basis. As I embark upon this journey as the Exceptional Student Education Director, I will continue to trust him. I've trusted the process, and he's never failed me yet. Thank you for this opportunity.
Courtney Combs is our new Director for Human Resource Services. She is moving from the position of Coordinator of Human Resource Services.
I'm going to be pretty quick, so I'd like to thank the board members and Dr. Smith for this opportunity, and I look forward to serving and supporting the students, the staff, and the principals in this new role. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Welcome.
Thank you. Our next appointment, Mr. Jeff Anderson, moving from Administrator on Special Assignment at West Florida Tech High School to the high school principal, assistant principal position at West Florida Tech.
Almost
Sorry
got
about
a
that,
promotion.
Jeff.
Congratulations, sir. Yes.
Congratulations, your promotion and demotion.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Don't leave until the check gets there.
Members of the board, Dr. Smith, thank you for allowing me just a moment to show my appreciation for some specific individuals and larger groups of people who've made for an ungettable initiation into this role. I'd first like to thank Mrs. Ishi Shannon, my principal, and Mrs. Erin Kramer, my other assistant principal, for every day continuing to teach me things I never knew I needed to know. I'd like to thank our wonderful staff, our teachers, our guidance counselors for their support throughout this year. I would also like to thank our ASP personnel, Kathy, Nikaya, Mary, Hope, Trina, and Jackie, our custodial staff and our cafeteria staff who really do help keep the place running, our student body who have been equally supportive of me this year, and lastly, but certainly not least, my wife, Paige. Thank you.
Miss Renee Ellsworth is moving from subject area specialist with physical disabilities to coordinator of program planning.
would like to take a moment to thank our superintendent, Dr. Smith, and our board members for this opportunity. I'd also like to thank Terry Zafran and Sandra Hill for the amazing direction and leadership that they have provided and guided me through my career. I am looking forward to this opportunity to continue to serve our students with disabilities and walk alongside Sandra as we continue the amazing work that we do in our department for our students. I would also like to thank my work family. They all mean so very much to me. We support each other through a lot of great, wonderful times serving our children, and I just want to continue that in the future as their leader now. I also want to thank my family, my husband Jeff, and my daughter Courtney, who's also a student in Escambia County and attends State High School. Super proud to know that she's well taken care of everywhere she goes in school. I'm also very fortunate to have my mother here with me tonight, as well as an aunt, my Aunt Mary, who is also a retired teacher with Escambia County, who's been a very special mentor to me in my life as well. So I just want to take a moment to thank all of you, and I'm looking forward to what we can do in the future for our students with disabilities.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Bakari Franklin is moving from a dean position at Pensacola High School to assistant principal at Pine Forest High School.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. All right, I'm deeply humbled and honored to be selected as the assistant principal of Pine Forest High School. I would like to express my gratitude to our superintendent, Dr. Smith, our deputy superintendent, Sheena Payne, and our honorable school board members. It has been an honor to serve as an educator in the Escambia County School District for 20 plus years. I've had the wonderful opportunity to work on all 3 grade levels, from elementary to high school. Some of the greatest joys that I've had as an educator is to see the growth of students. One thing Principal Sandra Rush always taught me is that every student deserves to see a year's worth of growth. For me, witnessing students' growth as an educator was not just limited to academics. It was a joy to witness their improvements in behavior and growth in character. While on my journey, I have been led and inspired by some of the best leaders in the district that have a passion and commitment to student success, such as Connie Farish, Sandra Rush, Cassandra Smith, Derek Thomas, Dr. Lipnick, Deborah Malashine, Brian Freeman, and last, Ms. Miller. The transformational style of leadership has influenced and prepared me to get to this point by allowing me to participate in numerous leadership opportunities. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge some very important people in my life, and I have to first start with my true joys, and that's my kids. My daughter, who's here tonight, Mari Franklin, who's a senior at West Florida. She's graduating summa cum laude. I tease her about that because I didn't get that title in front of my name until my bachelor's. She has earned a full scholarship in basketball while being dual enrolled. She is the true definition of hard work paying off. And she only knew how much I brag on her and how much I am proud of her. My son, Bakari Jr., who's in the back walking around everywhere, has been my new joy and keeps me young and smiling and challenging my diminishing athletic abilities. My dad, William Franklin, who couldn't be here tonight, but he's also my role model. His life is such a testimony that many don't know about, but he could truly be a best-selling author telling you about it. And last, my mother, Carolyn Franklin, who's no longer here physically, but sitting here with us spiritually. She served as a devoted educator in the Escambia County School District for nearly 30 years and left an impact that is talked about today. I can only imagine that beautiful smile that she has right now, looking down on her son and grandchildren. Perseverance is the key word that comes to mind when embarking on this journey. Perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. The role presented today is not one that is given, but instead one that is earned. It is a role that I will not take lightly. Ms. Ray, thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to assisting you in promoting the educational well-being and safety for all students at Pine Forest High School. To my inspiring leaders, Ms. Miller, Mr. Freeman, Mr. Thomas, Ms. Rush, Ms. Smith, Ms. Payne, thank you for the patience, the encouragement, believing in me, and helping me stay the course. The race has just begun, so please do not ignore my texts and phone calls when I need your help. Hashtag goodbye summer.
Thank you, sir.
We have Miss Melinda Webb, education. She's moving from an education specialist position to the subject area specialist in physical disabilities.
Been there, done that.
Good afternoon, good evening. I would just like to thank Dr. Smith and the members of the board for this opportunity. I'd also like to thank the ESE department, my friends and family, for all their support and encouragement through the years. And I just look forward to keep helping the students in our district. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, our next item is business is approval of the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Can I get a second?
Second the motion.
Okay, are there any items to be pulled?
Chair,
Yes.
I'm abstaining from voting on item 12A, Memorandum of Understanding between Community Action Program Committees, Head Start Program, and the School Board of Escambia County, Florida, due to being on the board for the Community Action Program Committee.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other items to be pulled? If not, please vote on the consent agenda minus the pulled items.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, I need a motion to approve item 12.A.MOU between Community Action Program Committee, Head Start Program, and the School Board.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 4-0.
In a moment of personal privilege, sometimes I'm pausing and looking, I'm watching Holly, and I think the system's working good, isn't it, Holly? Maybe? Yes. Okay. I don't think I'm going too fast for I hope. Okay, next we have items from the board. The first item is the school board appointee to the audit committee. Is there a motion?
I move that we get the appointment of Allison Williams as our appointee to the audit committee.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, next item is adoption of the FY 2021-2022 Superintendent Evaluation. Is there a motion?
Approve the I move we approve the superintendent's evaluation for 21,
Okay, 22.
22.
Yeah.
I second that.
All right, thank you. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just want to make sure that everyone understands that the superintendent has a 3-year contract, and we do an annual evaluation. That has to be done at a public meeting, publicly noticed that we are, in fact, have done the evaluation, and we're glad he's here.
Thank you very much.
I think you've gotten plenty of experience with a pandemic and everything else that's gone on, right? Yes. All right. Any other discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, moving on next, we have items from the superintendent.
Yes, item number 41, student discipline. Recommend approval for item A, disciplinary reassignments as noted on the board agenda with details provided in the board backup.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, please vote. Next is expulsions. Mr. Superintendent. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read it off.
Motion carries 5-0.
Go ahead. All right.
Way to go, Speedy.
Yes, too fast. Next is expulsions. Mr. Superintendent, what is your recommendation?
Yes, recommend approval for item B, expulsions as noted on the board agenda with details provided in the board backup.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 4-1.
Okay, moving on to employee discipline. Mr. Superintendent, what is your recommendation?
With employee discipline, recommend approval for items A and B as noted on the board agenda with details provided in the board backup.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Mr. Adams, if I
Yes.
might, you handled items A and B together, at least that was the motion as I heard it, but just a practice tip, when we move to board docs, if there is a separately enumerated item, they'll have to be voted on separately.
Okay, was that the one above?
Yeah, A and B.
42?
That was number 42. In the future, we'll have to do them separately.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see 41, we had it separate there, it was 2 different items.
And Ms. DeWeese
Okay.
just pointed out to me that the same would be true with the minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's a learning process. For the public, we are testing a new system, so I'm trying to watch the screen, what Holly's doing with the new system. And so we're learning, we're going to work out the kinks as we go along. Okay. Now I had to figure out where it was. Let's see.
43.
We're on to
43.
43.
All right, the last item is the recommendation of the successor trustee. Mr. Superintendent, what is your recommendation?
Recommend approval for item A as noted on the board agenda with details provided in the board backup.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, before we adjourn, I just wanted to have a little short discussion on, Holly, was I going too fast for you at times, or how was it working out? A little? Okay, so I'll try to slow that down. And if y'all saw me pausing, I was looking because you're recording the votes, and it seemed like it was working pretty good. So, so I think it's going to be a good program. All right, anything for the good of the order?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that my board members were aware that our DJJ programs, both PACE, Center for Girls, and the Boys Base, were recognized as an outstanding program by the state. And so I just wanted people to know that. I think Mr. Cody said something out about it. So kudos to them for working with those students.
Mr. Superintendent, you have anything to add? I know Tuesday is the big day, isn't it? School's out, right? On Tuesday?
Yes, and then we
Okay.
do have our graduations coming
Yes,
up.
graduations
so
too.
Very exciting time.
We have 2 tomorrow.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I will be missing the morning one, and I know Paul and a couple of board members will be there, but I'll be there for that afternoon one. I have family that's came in. We're having a big wedding this Saturday.
And Mr. Chairman, I think this is a very, very special group of seniors that are graduating this year. When we look back the last couple of years, this group of students, they were sophomores when COVID first hit. So they've had the fourth quarter of their sophomore year, all of their junior year, and then this portion of the senior year when we had the COVID spikes in September and August and January. So this is a group that's very perseverant, and we're really proud of our seniors.
Y'all are. Yep, great job. Let's hope it don't happen again. Yes, Patty?
Well, I just want to take this opportunity, I know my fellow board members probably will say something as well, as we talk about our students and all the wonderful opportunities we have had to go to different events to celebrate with them the good things that have happened this year. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our employees, both our teachers and our bus drivers, everyone, maintenance, custodial, everyone out there. You are a piece of the puzzle, and without the piece that you provide, we couldn't get this done. So you need to know that we really and truly appreciate each and every one. I know it's been a tough 2 years, and hopefully this summer you'll have a little time to recoup and be ready to go in August.
And I know last night we were over at Tate for their FAA program. 4 of us was, and that's an outstanding program at Tate. I mean, it was an honor to be there and watch the ceremony and all the rich history that goes with it. So good program you got there, Bill, in your district.
Well, I can't take credit for it because that has been a great program for 93 years. And so I just have to say, because of the teachers, the faculty that's part of that program. When I was teaching there, I think we had 2, and now they have 5 instructors, 900 students participating in the program. So, yes, but there are many programs all over the district that are exactly like that, and I'm sure Mr. Fetzko would love to talk about that unbelievable Latin program at Escambia High School that has just been a winner year after year after year.
Well, we've got great things going on for students, and luckily the majority of the students really benefit from the things that are available to them. They take part, they work hard, and there are a lot of benefits to it. So I'm proud of the things that are available to all of them. Last Saturday, Myrtle Grove Elementary School had kind of a homecoming, and it was an amazing event. There were hundreds of people who came back to Myrtle Grove. The youngest were kindergartners, and the oldest that was there was 85 years old. And everyone shared memories of what was going on. I did promise the people who were there that when demolition occurred, that there would be a mound of bricks available somewhere that somebody that wanted to come by could grab a brick and go. I says maybe for a short time that it would be there, but I would ask that our people in facilities to make those bricks available to people who wanted to have it. But it was a real heartwarming experience. There were probably 5 past principals of the school, and teachers came. The people came from as far as Birmingham and Jacksonville on that day. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Great history there. And don't need to neglect to say that I've got a FAA program at Beulah Middle School that's starting to build those rich traditions and placing very high in the state competitions. So it's a great program for a lot of kids to use. Dr. Adler?
Yes.
CAYs had their parent university activity Saturday with good participation from children and parents. And I understand that Board Member Hightower was running around in the hood loosed, and the superintendent kind of rescued her. But it was good participation all the way around.
And, yes,
I just
Patty?
wanted to, I wasn't at FFA, but Superintendent and I were at another opportunity to recognize students. So the violence art and essay winners were recognized by Sheriff Simmons, and some, again, valuable art from our students. It's just an amazing group of talented kids.
Yeah. And I thank our board members spreading ourselves out to the different events, and
Well,
yes.
mentioning Sheriff Simmons, Saturday evening, they had the sheriff's group went to Escambia High School and had the community get-togethers that they've been having at schools, showed the movie, but they had all the different facets of law enforcement there on display. They had all well, at least 8 different activities for children to participate in, and adults. Some of us would do that. Some of us can be childish at times. And I take great pride in that. But it was a very nice event, and I'm glad that the sheriff joins with the school district to do these things and shows that partnership that he's not there just to punish somebody, but he's there to have leadership and show students, that you work with law enforcement, and law enforcement is there to protect and serve. And the sheriff really lives that, and I appreciate him for that.
We appreciate his support. We do. And I want to congratulate our seniors who will be graduating, and I know it'll be a lot of fun for the families, and everybody celebrating that. Anything else for good order? If not, we are adjourned.